Good morning to all my early risers. We're about ready to get this thing started here. Villain Report. If you can do what I'm doing. I'm out here sharing this into all of my networks. I just put it on my story. I got some groups that I also share too. If you're not part of the Detroit Lions super villain group on Facebook, that's a good place for you to vent your frustrations or post good stuff. Get your opinion heard. 46,000 people on there. We got a loaded show today. They had rookie mini camp. And we got some of the interviews. We're going to take a look at some of those, react to that. We maybe even get a Bear fan on here, ask him some questions, because we got to get into this off season. Well, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lion Villain Report. I am your host, Russell Wayne. I'm going to be here with you for the next hour, talking some football with you. How was your week? I hope everybody's been doing well. I hope everybody has been getting everything they want to get accomplished. And right now we're broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News podcast right there. Thank you to Joe Chap and the boys over there doing a great job over there. We're broadcasting live into the Huddle Sports Network right there with Bill the Packer fan, Mike the Bear fan, and Sarah the Viking fan. And thank you for allowing us on there. And that's why we get a little bit of trash talk in here. And of course, we're on our own networks. The Villain Squad is on YouTube. And let me throw this up here for you. Subscribing to the YouTube page. It's right there. Yeah. And we are also on Facebook as well. And those are both at Lions Villain Squad. And also, we have Johnny Gaz in the house, and I'm going to bring him on right here. And you can go to Johnny Gaz right there on YouTube as well. And guess what? This is all free, folks. It's all absolutely free. And I've been having some fun with Johnny Gaz. Johnny Gaz, how you doing this morning?
How you doing, man? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy Mother's Day. All the mothers out there. It's a good Mother's Day weekend. How you doing today, brother?
I am doing good. I got the mojo going a little bit. They had, I'm glad Broski Bear joined too. You're going to get an opportunity to ask some questions to Broski Bear. And I was thinking about putting them on at the end, but we could put them on at the beginning. But what I wanted to do today were two things. For one, I got some of the stuff queued up from the YouTube, from all the players speaking from the rookie mini camp. I wanted to listen to some of that stuff back. We'll get to that later on in the show. But also, during the off season, I wanted to make sure that I got somebody from the other fan base and ask them some serious questions. I'm not here to do trollski, but somebody that's been in our chat, someone who has had lots of opinions, and that would be one Broski Bear. So let me bring him in here. Oh, he's not gonna show his face. What's going on, broski?
Mystery man.
Well, thanks for bringing me on this morning, guys. Appreciate it.
Good morning, broski. How are you, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
It is a good day. It is a beautiful day. How's it over there? How's the weather?
I mean, we're pretty much in like 80-degree everyday weather here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, yeah, it's good. It's a little overcast today, but I mean, hey, it's warm. I'm wearing shorts and short sleeves every day, so I can't complain.
I am looking forward to that 100% because that's the way it is today. So when we're done doing this show, I am definitely going to spend some time outside today. And if you have a chance, make sure that you do that too. And I'm curious to see what this chat's going to look like
Some grass.
when I throw them over there. There we go. Boom. Welcome, everybody.
You like that? You like that?
Davey's in the house. And Rick is in the
You
house.
like that? You like that?
So it's been an interesting off season. Would you like to shoot a question at him, or do you want me to shoot a question? I have some written down here that I wanted to ask Broski a little bit. You want?
I
Go
absolutely have a question. I mean, well, let's start. Can we start with the Bears, right? Because I think the ultimate question for the Bears is, have they done enough to protect Caleb Williams and foster his talent? And how do you feel about that situation going into 25?
I would have liked to see the Bears kind of address the trenches a little more in the draft. They made a lot of free agent signings. I mean, they have a new starting center, 2 new starting guards. You know, 2 of those 3 guys have a injury history. You know, so I would have liked to see the Bears get a little bit deeper at guard, center, and tackle as well. So are Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, and Tooney an upgrade over what who the Bears had last season? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but for me, I'm just in wait and see mode. Like, you know, how many off seasons can you have your hopes and dreams shattered? You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the regular season starting. So it appears they have addressed things. Now, like I said, the depth might be an issue on the offensive line, but hey, a lot's riding on this rookie they drafted in the second round, Isaac Trapillo, who is penciled in as their starting left tackle right now, and there's a good chance he will be week 1.
I love that. That's great. I like what the Bears have done. You and I have had talks before, at least through, you know, texting and whatnot, and it always comes back to making sure that you can protect your quarterback. It was the same thing with Justin Fields, and I like the moves that you did. You know, you may not love all of the players
On paper,
but
yeah, like on paper, if these guys are healthy, yeah, it's definitely an upgrade, and it should definitely help Caleb. You know, I don't think Poles makes these moves independently of Ben Johnson. So if the Bears don't hire Ben Johnson and bring him in, you know, even like the drafted Trapillo in the second round, like I don't know if they do that. So
what is your confidence level? Because I mean, Ben Johnson, that's a really, really good hire for you guys, and I mean, he is an awesome offensive mind, but he is also a really, really good leader of men. He gets a lot out of his players. He expects a lot out of his players. So how do you feel? Do you think that this is the move that's going to move the Bears over that hump? Maybe get them past the Packers and you know, be up. I'm sorry to say, but where the Lions are, where we want to compete for the title every year, and that's where you really want to be. I love having the rivalry with you guys and everything, but at the end of the day, we want the Lombardi. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel that you're there to?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah, for the Bears, though, it's just a lot deeper than, hey, can the team have an improved record this year? Like, they really have to turn around. They have to turn around a dysfunctional organization. So it's a lot deeper than that, and I don't think that happens in one offseason. So what I'd like to see is a big step in the right direction from the coaching standpoint, locker room culture. Yes, win-loss record, but I would look at it like, hey, realistically, I think their goal should be like a 10-win season. Like that should be your goal. Try to get 10 wins. If they honestly had an 8 or 9 win season, I would consider that a step in the right direction because I really think it is.
8 or 9 wins you would be satisfied with that?
A step in the right direction, yeah, with improvement from Caleb as well. Like there's obviously a lot of things he needs to work on. So I'd like to see some improvement with him. The team's overall record, 8 or 9 wins is a big deal. Like Pole's most winning season, he had 7 wins so far as GM. So
right.
8 or 9 wins, yeah, you're going in the right direction. You have something to build off of. They can't address all their needs in one off season. It's not going to be a one season. We're going from a 5-win team to a Super Bowl contender. That's just not realistic.
Well, this is the NFL though, so when you get the right pieces together, because I don't know, Caleb looked pretty dangerous to me. Like when he got out of the pocket, and he never really was protected. He could never really run through his progressions last year. He should be able to do that this year. I think that they will. They'll be much improved on the offensive line. Should be able to get a little bit of run in there.
I mean, they've added weapons. Like they added. Caleb definitely has an array of people to throw to for sure. From DJ Moore to Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet, Loveland. Those are 5 pretty solid targets to throw to. The kid's got a ton of talent. I have to say, like, Caleb really does. He's got a lot of potential. Will he realize that potential? We'll soon see. I like the fact that it's going to be new to him to take snaps under center. So I know that's something like Goff led the league in was snaps under center, play action.
Yep.
He was like the number 1 play action quarterback. So that's I like that's being introduced to Caleb because that's with his like athletic ability and stuff as well. Like that's really going to add it could add like a whole nother dimension to his game.
Yeah, hit that question up, Johnny.
Yeah, I think great question. Brings something up, and you hit on some good points there, Broski. I love the idea of like this isn't just a 1-year turnover, right? You have to have consistency in that coaching staff and the organization. I mean, it seems very much, and I'm not just shouting out the Lions, but it seems very Lions-esque, obviously, with Ben Johnson in the start. You draft the tight end and follow it up with the offensive lineman. I love the draft you guys have, but let's hit on Rick C's question. I think this is great. It says, who does this season mean more for, Caleb Williams or Ben Johnson?
I like that question. That's a good question, Rick C. Without a doubt, like to me, it's Ben Johnson. It begins and ends there. Like if he's not a legit head coach, I mean, there's nothing to say he definitely will be right now. He has to go out and improve that. We've seen time and time again. I mean, a top, an elite or a very good offensive coordinator becomes head coach, they flop. Very good defensive coordinator becomes head coach, they flop. I mean, just look at like Vic Fangio, like probably the best defensive coordinator in the league. He can single-handedly turn your defense into like a Super Bowl caliber defense. He wasn't a good head coach. So, Ben Johnson, my answer to that question is Ben Johnson, definitely.
I love that question. That's a great question. And when I look at the coaching with this wasn't just like the same old Bears, right? This seemed different because it wasn't just Ben Johnson. It was the overhaul. Dennis Allen's such a big hire for you guys because you have a head coach, guy that's been a head coach, been a successful head coach as one of your coordinators. He's going to be able to give Ben Johnson all kinds of little nuggets, maybe cover some of those blind spots that brand new head coaches get while, his responsibilities have dialed way back. He's just handling the defense now. So you bring in a couple of badasses when you're talking about Grady Jarrett and Deo. You can try that name, broski. But what do you think of the Bears defense going into 2025?
Yeah, we'll call him Deo. We'll just call him Deo. Or I think it might actually be Dio. I'm not sure. give me a couple months, we'll have it figured out. But yeah. So on the defensive side of the ball, the Bears definitely increased depth on there and added to their defensive line, which was great. I mean, they signed Deo, they signed Grady Jarrett. Both those guys are going to start. That moves Billings, who has been a starter there for the past couple seasons and really one of the leaders on the team. He's in the rotation now. Shamar Turner, the guy out of Texas A&M, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, they drafted in the second round. He's pretty much NFL ready, and he really kind of projects as he's like a young Grady Jarrett, like from body type, style of play. So that's a good situation for him to be in. And overall, just to get back to what Johnny said about the Bears draft, I like the Bears draft as well. I would have probably gone in a little different direction, but I like the players they got. And to me, that's all that really matters. But Bears defensively, from like a starter perspective, all the starters are healthy. They look good. Bears are very deep at cornerback. They have been for the past couple of seasons. Not a perfect defense, but all the starters healthy. It's going to be a pretty tough defense. And I do like the Dennis Allen hire. I think that was a pretty darn good hire.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, why don't you throw one more question at Broski, and then we'll get into his predictions for the Bears.
Sure, man. Yeah, so let's take a look at, I guess, the NFC Central as a big picture thing. I mean, where do you see the Bears stacking up now? I mean, it's almost like an offensive juggernaut of a division. And my question is, ultimately, is this division turning into an offensive heavy division, or is it more trying to stack your defense up to be able to compete with a team like the Lions or the Vikings? I mean, where do you see the Bears' primary strength in 2025?
Well, from a division level, I kind of think the Vikings and Packers already have pretty formidable defenses. I think the Bears have the potential to be that this season as well. So, you could potentially see three teams with top 10 defenses. Three NFC North teams with top 10 defenses. The Lions, I mean, hey, they got work to do. To me, that's always been their Achilles. That's what's going to get them over the top. I think their offense, Lions' offense, will be fine this year. I really don't think losing Ben Johnson and some of the coaches is going to really pull them back like some fans, Bears fans, would like to see. Defensively, to me, it comes down to a personnel issue. I don't know if the Lions have enough on the defensive line, at linebacker, the cornerback even, to have an elite defense yet. That being said, I think the Lions and Packers they're the two teams competing for the division this year. I think the Vikings and Bears are going to be right around an 8-9 win team. I think the Packers and the Lions will be 12-13 win teams.
I'll tell you what, the Bears scare me. The middle of the defense, it scares the crap out of me, because if anything, the Lions were shown to be susceptible on the interior, and they really stacked up. The Lions drafted two guards, so you could tell that's a response to what the Bears are doing almost. And so believe me, I like how realistic you are, Broski, more than anything else. You don't come in and shout from the rooftops and try to unrealistically present your team. I like that a lot. But still, I think this is the best division in football, and your draft, everything the Bears did kind of proves that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree with what you're saying there. And I really liked, and I spoke about the Lions draft a lot more with JB. But yeah, I like the Lions draft, just if for nothing else, the three big guys in the trenches the Lions drafted. I have a feeling all three of those guys could be starting as rookies week 1.
Well, Broski, it's been nice having you on here. This has been my first real experience since the seriousness. I kind of made a switch last year of having somebody on here. It's been a good experience. Loved having you on here today. Talk a little bit Bears. And
I enjoy talking football, and I have pretty good football knowledge. So yeah, I enjoyed being on here. Thank you very much, and hopefully I can jump on again sometime.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. You have a great day, Broski.
Take it easy, Broski.
John.
All right. that always makes me nervous because I'm like you. I'm used to it a lot as a solo gig. I love doing some of the stuff. I got comfortable with main event mic for a while there, but it takes me a minute. So that's a work in progress.
Yeah, listen, he brought in good stuff. I think I like what he brought to the table, and more than anything, it's like a vibe thing, right? You can't in real life. You sit down with somebody you haven't met for the first time. You got to figure out how you vibe together, right? So and especially in a three-way conversation like that, that can be hard. That's tough,
right? And that felt like it went really well.
Yeah,
And when it comes with the Bears, I actually think, he's underselling a little bit what the Bears could be, because I think they're going to finish in second place behind the Lions this year in the division. I think that he makes some points about the Lions defensive line where you're looking at, but to counter that, I would say the progression, at least the coaching staff, we believe in the progression. So a lot of those guys going from second to third, first to second, they're going to get a lot better. That secondary, Terrion Arnold is going to be better going into year two. We're going to get something out of Ennis Rakestraw this year in year two. Those are the types of things. Josh Pascal, you haven't heard much out of him, but he has shown flashes, and he's going into a contract year. And it's like, just because they haven't done anything, it doesn't mean that they're not going to do anything. Now, are all of those guys going to be, the next level and rah? No, but I'm sure that one or two of them will. Who do you think that'll be, Johnny?
Well, let me start. You hit a good couple things. I think he also undersold the Bears as well. They are molding like the Lions are doing, and I know you can destroy that or call him a Dan Campbell wannabe or whatever, but like their first three draft picks were a tight end, an offensive lineman, and a wide receiver. I don't know if I got that in the right order, but my point is they're insulating their quarterback, and they certainly have a much more athletic quarterback than the Lions have, and he proved last year he can win, and he's willing to put his nose in there. He's the kind of he's a weird character, but he's a good football player, and that's the kind of guys you want on the football field, at least. So I just think the Bears are setting themselves up for success. They got the right coaching staff now, and if they can compile a few years of this, then they really could compete. Where they finish in the Central? I don't know. I mean, I think he's realistic. 8 or 9 wins could be okay. But I agree. I think he's underselling the Bears.
I absolutely love that you keep calling it the Central. It's awesome.
It's ingrained in my head. I'm so sorry, man. I don't know why. The Central.
I wasn't gonna.
It's okay.
You know what? We may just make it a thing on here. We don't care. Tampa Bay's in here too. Fuck it. My dad
had tickets. My dad had tickets to the Pontiac Silverdome. Season tickets forever and ever and ever. And I just go down, and it was always the NFC Central back then. So that's just the way it was.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, the Bears. When Dan Campbell in that one famous speech, and there's been so many of them, but he's talking about dragging teams out into the deep waters. The Bears are going to become one of those hard teams, because really a lot, what I'm finding is the way that the Lions are built is a lot of teams that we go up against, we just punch them in the face a couple times and they kind of back down. They'll stay at an arm's distance, but they don't dare try to come back because they know our guys are, we just have those nasty guys that we just don't care. You're not going to outwill us. Now, there are some teams that can stand up to that, and then you got to throw blows, and then you got to get into that tug of war, and you're dragging them out, and you got to drown that team. Now, Bears are slowly becoming one of those teams that we're going to have to stomp out. Our best guys are our offensive linemen, and that's the point. You brought it up a little bit earlier. About the interior of the offensive line, and so much gets thrown on Jared Goff when it comes to this, and not the fact that interior pressure is something that he struggled with, and we can't have the interior of the offensive line struggling like that. Thoughts on that, Johnny?
100%. That's the offensive line is the bread and butter, and we've hit on it so much. And truthfully, like when they struggled offensively, it was because of the guards and the center combinations that Graham Glasgow wasn't great last year, guys. I mean, people don't want to say that, but there's a reason why they decided to go double dip on guard. Just like how they did cornerback the year before. They knew they had to build on the strength. And to me, that was the best thing they could have done all off season, outside of all of the talk about what we need to do on the defensive line. It's like the success was really made with the Penei Sewell pick, and that's an offensive lineman, and that's where the heart is. So don't let your heartbeat fail. I mean, that's a weird way to put it, but that's like where it is.
And it's a beautiful thing in the middle of that offensive line, and so much is lost with this edge talk. And I get it. I want to be sympathetic to the edge people, right? That are out there. They're trying this strategy with 20% rotation with Aiden on the other side. I get you're frustrated with that, but instead of doing that, they went, and what you're not talking about is they strengthened the middle of that offensive line. You already had Mahogany in there, and then you bring in, Frazier and Ratledge to just solidify that. And that isn't just this year. I mean, Tate's going to start this year, probably.
I agree.
But long term, you're going to lose, Glasgow probably within the next couple of years. You're going to lose Frank Ragnow, and you're not going to miss a beat. And these guys cost $1.50, and a handshake.
Yeah, these are character guys. These are guys, and that's sorry to build on your point, but it's like they're not only taking the what will help them the most, I think, both offensively and defensive tackle. In the interior on the defensive side, they've also gotten better. So it's like jaded people's view of the organization. I have heard people say that Brad Holmes isn't trying to win. Literal content Lions creators saying Brad Holmes is not trying to win a Super Bowl. It's ridiculous because you hit the point exactly. You're so jaded by the edge conversation that it's scurried the view of everything else.
And you don't realize that we just upgraded on a spot that you wouldn't think that you could upgrade from Kevin Zeitler, and it's like it's crazy to think that that's fixed, and it's fixed long term. It's all good in here. And I did get some stuff here. Let me get these guys out of here. And I got the footage from.
Oh, nice. The interviews. Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Now I got me in. So I'm still learning how to work some of this stuff in here. But I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right. So let's see. This is Tyleik Williams, and this is going to kind of go through all of them here. It's 33 minutes total, so I think that we'll have enough time to maybe go a little bit over 11, but we'll be able to listen to all of the guys, and then we'll just stop and react after each guy. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So much today, so what prompted that?
I was just it's a plan they got me going on right now. It's a long season. I just came off a long season, so it was just being smart.
Something, I'm sorry, like pro day.
I had a little fall, but I'm all healed.
Can you hear that?
I hear it, but kill the background music.
Just being smart.
Kill the background music?
Yeah, it'll help. It'll help Dahlia.
All right.
Smart, so I can, got a season to play. I just came off a long season, so just being smart with it.
Just first impressions of obviously stepping out here at this level, putting that helmet on, that jersey, and just take us through that.
It's great vibes, great people, great organization. It's a bunch of great athletes out here, so it's definitely more competitive. It's faster, so, it's going to be a learning process for everyone here. But it was a good day.
It's one of the most surprising things with this politics or anything that's happened to you since you got there.
Surprising thing? John Legend followed me. Yeah, on Instagram, and I was like, wow, he got I don't know how many million followers, and he followed me, so it was pretty cool.
Hit him up right after the ads after that?
I ain't DM him yet, but eventually I'm reach out for something, Yeah.
Just first impressions of Shep and this defense? And I know you didn't practice much here, but just the plan, how they might use you, how you might fit in, and how you just take us through.
Shep, that's high energy guy. I think he has a great defense here. I think I can help in a big way, and I think he sees that as well. Like I said, let's get it. Get in the playbook. It's first day, so everything's new, but it should be
Great. Isaac was telling us, they had a few Zoom, playbook sort of meetings leading up to this. Did you have those? How many? And what was that like? Sort of, I guess, the install of that ahead of getting here this week.
Yeah, it's basically just the basics of the scheme, just so I can get here and have a bit of a head start. So, but it was the 30 visits, same thing, just the base things of the scheme that I need to learn. But it's all been well.
Chuck any of the vet guys up front, any of those guys yet?
Yeah, I've reached out to all of them. I've been texting all of them. Yeah.
How those conversations gone? They excited?
Yeah, they welcome me in. Telling me it's a lot of I got to get to work. Definitely it's not gonna be handed to me, and I'm ready for that. So it's good.
How does it feel walking into a team with expectations like that, though? You feel like that help you take your game to the next level? Just when it's a team that's wanting to win right now.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I kind of at Ohio State was kind of the same way. We're built around a great team, and I think I can help in a big way. So whatever they need me to do, I'm here. I'm gonna give it my best.
What are those expectations like over 4 years to kind of carry that on a daily basis?
At Ohio State?
Yeah.
Just coming in, being a leader, setting the standard, just being dominant. I think I showed that over the years at Ohio State, and I think I can, translate to the NFL. So just got to get in the playbook, keep my head down, work hard, learn from the vets, and hopefully it goes good.
Is there a story behind 78, your number at all? Or they're hoping to get something else? Is that
right now, I'm, try to get 91, but, it's already taken, but hopefully
Levi.
I can, get out of 78. I don't want to. But for right now, it's 78, and, I'm going to stick with it, make it look good, but for right now, that's my number.
These are your first steps of your NFL career. What are you hoping to accomplish now that you finally put on a helmet, finally put on a jersey, but for the next couple of days before OTAs get going?
For me, I just want to, be a great teammate and be a sponge. Like I said, there's a bunch of vets in there. Just seeing DJ inside. So just getting to talk with them, learn scheme, learn ball, learn how to play in the NFL is different from college. So me, I'm just a sponge. I'm just trying to learn everything I can to give me an advantage, to go play and, help contribute.
What's been the biggest difference that you've observed so far just between college and the NFL?
The walk-through speed. It's basically a practice. It's it's full speed, not literally, but college is literally walking. It's a different animal in the NFL, definitely. So that caught me off guard a little bit. But other than that, it's football at the end of the day. So just gotta be tough, be gritty, and you should be fine.
I don't know what the rest of your week holds, like how much you'll do, but when you're in a situation like you are, where you're maybe not taking every rep, what's sort of the goal for you? Just immerse yourself in the playbook. Is there something else you try to accomplish, this week before
I'll say just get mental reps. Just like I said, it's a new playbook. You got to learn. So I'm gonna be in the film room with all the coaches. Just learning as much as I can. So when I am on the field and getting more reps, I can do it at a high level. Just making sure I'm ready when that time comes.
Starting to feel more comfortable in the state up north?
Not yet. It's growing on me though. A lot of Team Up North fans are like following me and all that. Saying we're welcome and all that. So it's a little weird right now, but eventually it'll be. It's home. So eventually, I might say it. I don't know yet. I might say it.
I saw all those stories about guys getting pranked during the draft. Did you have anything happen to you or any of your buddies?
Any prank calls?
Yeah.
I think I did, but I didn't answer it because it wasn't like an area code of the team that I was picking. So I didn't answer, but I think I did get one, but I didn't.
Sure, you just somebody else?
I looked at it because I was like, but I just put it back down because I knew it was like I was warned ahead of time that might happen. So just being smart.
If I'm accurate, you're a cat guy?
Yes, I have 2 cats. My roommate's freshman year had some cats, and it kind of grew on me. But I recently just got a Bernedoodle, so I got a dog as well, Banks. I'm gonna show him into the media here soon. But just got another dog. Yeah.
Does the dog and the cats get along?
Say it again?
Do the dog and the cats get along?
Yeah, they actually like each other. They like running around chasing each other. It's pretty cool. I didn't know if I was gonna like it at first, but it's definitely grown on me.
What's the Bernedoodle's name?
Banks, he got a lot of colors. He's pretty cool. So it's glad I got him for sure.
They said they were going to cross train.
Oh man, that was the last question. Oh, that's so awful. How do you do that? Poor guy. Poor guy. So first impression of Tyleek Williams. Did you turn yourself off? Did you mute yourself?
Hello.
Okay.
Am I here now?
Okay, there you go.
Sorry, buddy. Hit the mute button. Smart, well-spoken. He understands the progress in the program. And also I put a lot of emphasis in the media for the Lions too. They do a good job in directing those interviews and not putting them in a tough spot because it's week 1 for these guys. I mean, this is introduction to NFL football, and you could tell he's embracing it. I like that he's willing to see what was different in college compared to the pros and kind of adjust. And he seems like a real guy. You know what I mean? Somebody who you could tell in an interview that you could talk to and like relate to, and was a leader. So that's what I take from it.
Yeah, he seems like somebody that's coming here to work, and nothing given to him. I remember that. He's already sat down with Kelvin Shepard. He's already learning. The defense already. They're not. It seems like it's already wore off. I'm drafted. I'm in. Yeah, I'm here. But some guys, it seems like that just stays forever. But it seemed like he was just ready to go to work.
Yeah.
And see who I got in here. I want to put a shout out right here to Jennifer. What's up, Jennifer?
What up, Jennifer?
What's going on? Central Scrutinizers up in the house.
You like that? You like that?
A-Dub wants to come on. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time to get somebody else on, but I was definitely gonna see about getting A-Dub on for the Packers one. That'll probably be maybe next week or the week after that. But A-Dub, just so you know, I plan on having one of everybody on here. Rick C in the house. Mark Orlando. Good morning to the villains.
You like that? You like that?
Yes. All right. So my favorite one's coming up right here. And I mean, I do like Tyleek Williams because I'm an Ohio State fan. And I just think that he's going to have such a bigger impact that people would think, and it may be in the form of Aiden Hutchinson getting 20 sacks this year, because that's what, I mean, just go watch the tape. Watch how JT
He didn't get another edge though. How? It's impossible.
Just watch the tape with Tyleek and watch how he opens up Jack Sawyer. Watch how he opens up JT on the other side. It just watch it, because that was his job. Like, they did not ask him to attack quarterbacks. They asked him to eat people, and that's what he did. He did it well too, and he disrupted run. Like, we got a dude here. This guy is just fine. He's just as good as the other guys that were drafted in the first round. Sorry, Michigan fan, but Grant and Graham had each other to destroy, and you had him just kind of by himself right there, being able to disrupt like that and open up those other two guys. So we got a dude. We
Absolutely got a dude.
A dude.
A dog. And that's what they like, man. Let's get it. Oh, man. Here we go. Look at that hair.
Here we go. Look at that mullet. Stick right through it.
Yeah, first day here, just, we walk out here taking some steps. How'd that go? What do you like about playing in the center there?
Yeah, it's different from guard, of course, but I'm glad I've had prior experience too playing center, so it's nothing brand new to me. So coming back out here, getting in the feel of it, but as far as center goes, you're taking control of the offensive line, so I kind of like that aspect of it.
I don't know, what have they said about, cross-training, playing every different position, and how those kind of bring you into all this?
I mean, right now I'm learning the basics, learning the playbook, trying to get everything down at every position I can, put myself in the best spot to compete.
What is something about learning the mental aspect of playing center versus
It's just a lot more. You got to see a lot more. You got to notice safety rotation, stuff like that. Know where the point's going. At guard, most of the time you're listening to the center tell you where to go. At center, like I said, you're telling everybody else where to go.
Finally on the grass now. Is the dream starting to feel real?
Yeah, definitely a dream come true. It's awesome to be out here. I couldn't have asked for a better situation to step into with this team, this program, so I'm happy about it.
It's nice to have a lot of Georgia guys here with you.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus to it. I got Dom and Dan here, so getting to see familiar faces I've seen for the last 3, 4, 5 years, so it's awesome to have those guys around.
Hey, when you and Miles trained together, did you talk about the possibility of ending up on the same team in the NFL?
I mean, it was always joked about, like, if somebody that we were training with ended up on the same team, and luckily enough, I'm here with Miles, so it's another familiar face that I've gotten to know pretty well be here with me.
What's been the biggest surprise? Well, anything, maybe a call, text, or anything since you got drafted?
Probably the call that I got when I got drafted. My TV was behind, so I was like, I thought I was getting messed with, but yeah, just probably the call to get drafted. That was like I said, a dream come true, and now that dream is finally coming true.
Wait a minute, so you had like paused it during the draft at some point or something?
I'm not sure what happened, but I remember they said it was the Lions. I look up on the screen and they didn't have a pick coming up. I was like, what's going on?
You didn't get pranked at all? Right?
No, I did not.
What do you think of that whole thing? You know, this prank call.
Nah, I think it's pretty stupid. I mean, it's biggest point in a kid's life up to that point, and people are messing with it. But
You said this is a dream come true to be on the field, but I mean, this is kind of your first step into the NFL. What are your goals this week? I mean, you got on the grass for the first time today, but
right now, I think my goals are just to learn this playbook as best as possible and put myself in the best position to go into training camp and compete.
What's your early impressions of your position coach on us?
He's awesome. Guy knows a lot of football. I've been here for a day, had a few meetings with him before this, but I've already learned so much from him, and just the ability to have him on the field with me, in the classroom with me, just really progresses me a lot, I feel like.
Hey, did you watch this offense much over the past couple of years, just as a fan of the game?
Yeah, I watched a good bit of our offensive line, just the mentality they play with, the style they play with, and of course they've got really good players up there, so they're good players to learn from in the first place. So I watched that film, and then the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the mentality of the offensive line. They were finishing people all over the place. So to me, that's a big part of the game. And being able to, knowing I was a big fan of this offensive line coming in, it was a cool part to step into this.
Do you feel like their play style suits and kind of mirrors yours?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have you crossed contact with any of those guys?
A few here and there. Haven't really met them. They've been out of the building, but I'm looking forward to meeting all of them.
We hear a lot about how well Georgia prepares guys for the NFL. What's the playbook look like at this level compared to the one you're coming from?
It's still football to the same aspect as schemes and stuff, but there's more in depth here, if that makes sense. You're looking at more things, seeing more things. In college, we had a pretty deep playbook, but this is a deep playbook, but it's got more aspects to it.
What are those Georgia practices like?
They were physical, tough. It was a grind out practice, but Coach Smart got us right, and I think we had a lot of success under him, and I think our practice had a lot to do with it.
What's it feel like to have your own Lions jersey?
Yeah. Whoo! That is a good interview. Like, I was captivated the entire time. What did you think of your first impression of Tate?
I wrote down two things as he was speaking. The first one was, how awesome is it that we live in a world where other organizations, other college programs are using the Lions game film as examples of how to play offensive line. I love that we live in that universe. That is the most exciting thing in the world. The other thing that I wrote down, because they've hit on in every single interview, how stupid is it that people are prank calling the NFL draft picks? I mean, that is the worst thing I've heard of. And I mean, there's some people you want to get pranked, but he hit it exactly. Like, it's the biggest moment of these kids' lives, and people are ruining it. So I hate that. But as far as him and the man, straightforward, here to work, understands what his role is here, and he's ready to learn. And I think that's the biggest thing. These guys are straightforward.
Yeah, with this guy is going to be a dude. I was just thinking, like, if you're not first, you're last. I wanted to go do karate with this guy, like, immediately. Let's go up and do some karate. And I think that he's going to be a character. I think he's going to be a blast on game days. And, you know, especially after wins, the mullet, the soul glow. I mean, we're going to be rocking and rolling.
Win the Olympics, like, for real. We're going to see another one right here. But look at that, just a locks. Woo.
And I'm beginning to think that's going to be a prerequisite right here. We'll have to see. Let's see let's check out Isaac Tesla.
See where now?
It feels great. Number 18.
What was it like just to put that on, put the helmet on, be out here? Obviously, we know the story. You've been a fan of this franchise for a long time.
Yeah, it's a surreal thing, man. It feels amazing. Obviously, he was talking about me coming in on my visit wearing my custom jersey I got a few years ago. But it's much better, like you said, to be wearing my own number with my name on the back and just go out here and make plays and just learn the offense and just be a part of this. It's awesome.
This isn't your first time taking a big step from Hillsdale to Arkansas. How can that transition help you at this next level there?
Yeah, I'd say, you're going to go out there and just give it your best. You're not going to win every rep. It's a whole nother level to the ball game. So just learning what works for you, watching tape, and just continually learning and improving off what you don't do well and continue to build on what you do well.
Cross training is so huge here, and just playing inside and outside. How important is that for you to learn both and show that you can play both, just to improve your options?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about versatility. I'd say, playing special teams is another huge thing. So just special teams, playing inside, playing outside. I want to make sure I learn the whole playbook, so it gives me the best opportunity to go out there on the field.
What do you think of the offense?
I love it so far. Obviously very basic stuff day one, but I'm excited.
Going back to draft night, what was your reaction, family's reaction? Obviously enjoying the moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm sure you saw the video my mom posted. She's all excited. She got a million some views on it, and she got some followers, so she thinks she's an influencer now or something. But it was amazing. Obviously, the TV was a little delayed, so I didn't even see the line straight up, and all of a sudden I'm getting a call from a 313 number. And I just about passed out. I couldn't hardly believe it. I stood up and everyone was still talking. I was like, everybody shut up. And I picked up the call and he said, this is Brad Holmes, GM with the Detroit Lions. And I almost fell to the ground. So, it was very surreal. I don't know if I remember a single word that anyone said to me after that point. I was just kind of in a daze, but very excited, very emotional time. Obviously, if I could have chosen any team, it'd be here. So I'm just, like I said, grateful to be here.
Just like Ray Agnew this morning, he was also saying, you're born to be a Lion. How do you feel when you hear him saying stuff like that?
I'm right there with him. I think this is where I was born to be, and God's blessed me with the opportunity to come out here and be a part of it.
What's the biggest thing you want to show this weekend?
Just show I'm dependable. I'm smart. You can throw me out there, and I'm going to make plays.
Have you spoken to any of the receivers and veterans at all? They talk to you at all?
Yeah, Amon-Ra reached out to me after the draft. He texted me. We texted back and forth a little bit, and then I saw him in the food court this morning, so it was cool.
When you were at Hillsdale, what do you think your odds were of making it?
Yeah, I try not to think too much in the future, kind of live in the present, obviously do everything I could to set myself up to get to this level at some point. Obviously, I was making plays out there and I knew I was talented, but you never know how it's going to translate. So for me, it was just focusing on the things I continually needed to improve on. And then if it was the Lord's will, I would end up here someday.
Is there a moment where you were like, I know I can make it?
When I was old enough to think, I was always thinking I was going to be an NFL player. So.
Was that like your book or something? Like you said, you want to play for the Lions or something at some point?
Yeah, that was from my senior year. They did some question thing. It was, what professional team would you play for? And of course, it was the Detroit Lions. So
you've played at Ford Field before. How special would it be this time running out of the tunnel, with the actual Lions jersey?
Yeah, that was a dream in and of itself to go out there and win a state championship in Ford Field. Little did I know I'd be back a little bit later wearing a Lions jersey. So I'm just ecstatic. Grateful for the opportunity and excited to get out there.
It's one thing to get a text from Amon-Ra, but to actually meet him and be eye to eye with him. What was that moment like today? Did he share any words of wisdom as a guy who was kind of mid to late round draft day now coming into the situation?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk more later. It was more of just like a how you doing in passing, because we were sitting at different tables, and but that's someone I'm really going to look up to. Obviously, I love the way he plays the game. I love his process. So I'd say everyone in the room, I just have so much to learn from, and I'm just going to be a sponge.
What's your focus for a rookie minicamp?
Wow, what a great young first impression that I'm gonna throw out there while I'm getting our scene set here is that it don't the draft picks don't matter, because now all of the draft picks are on an even playing field. 1st through 7th, they're all just on the team, and he just gets to go out there and compete. But what a nice young man right there. What's your first impression of Tesla?
It's hard not to get wrapped up in the story of when you say the term "born to be a Lion," that gets me every time, because you just want this to work so badly. If this works, man, this is the guy, dude. I'm telling you. I'm not saying because I think it is going to work, but I'm just saying if it does work, this is the jersey sale. This is where this is at. But the other thing that I hit home on was you mentioned special teams as a way to get himself into the mix. And you love to hear that, the mentality of that, because he is going to set up, like right now, everybody's in the same mix, but there is a hierarchy, right? I mean, it's Amon-Ra, it's J-Mo, it's Tim Patrick, and then probably Khalif Raymond before anything else, just because they've been around. So he's sitting at like position 5, 6, 7. So the way he's going to get himself in the mix is by being a special team standout. So he'll be able to do that in training camp and then earn the respect of the group. And then I love that he mentions the run-in with Amon-Ra St. Brown and the fact that Amon-Ra isn't going out of his way yet to like embrace him. Dude, it's training camp Sun God time. He's out to kill you. We're not friends yet until the flip to the regular season. Then you guys can be best of friends.
That's right. That's right. You know, I think this is a guy that is a sleeper for the season. Like you said, I think that he's a lock at 5'6", right there. But I think he'll go past Khalif Raymond sooner rather than later. He'll be the number 4 receiver quickly. And the opportunity he has as a 3rd round wide receiver isn't like most opportunities a 3rd round wide receiver. You usually want those guys to get out there and give him a bunch of targets and throw him out there. He's going to have like not as much pressure. They're going to be looking at Laporta. They're going to be looking at Amon-Ra. They're going to be looking at Jamison Williams. And then when he gets out there in those 3 wide receiver sets, he's going to be looking for some linebacker or some safety to make his bitch. And he go out there at 6'4", and I think he's gonna do really well his rookie year, just based off of you're not gonna put your best guys to defend this guy. What do you think of that thought?
I love it. And the funny thing is, I think you're right, because hopefully they'll find that he's such a willing blocker that they'll need to use him in running sets, just because they know he's going to run over the middle and put a body on a linebacker when you don't really want Amon-Ra doing that. I know he's willing to, but you don't want to overextend that use. And so you're right. That's another way where he really supplants himself in the mix. I agree with you. That's a great point.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, what was your first interaction with Amon-Ra St. Brown? It probably was like this. Hey, Amon-Ra, what's going on? How you doing down there? It's like, this is a dude right there, a big bodied wide receiver. But oh man. So let me get this out of the way right here as we get into, I believe this is Frazier, right?
It's Miles. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
First one out there, no pads. Like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove about yourself?
I'm just trying to compete and grow. A lot of breaking not bad habits, but old habits, different ways of coaching and technique. So I'm just trying to grow and learn the new ways of the Lions and just the different techniques and just different things that can enhance my game.
What are your impressions of Hank Fraley? I know it's early, but yeah.
Unbelievable coach, honestly. Like we just had one practice, and some of the pointers and some of the techniques that he taught me, I opened up to it, and I could he explains why he's teaching it. Like, he gets that for the past 4 or 5 years you did it a certain way, but he opens us up to new ways, and honestly, I feel like that's definitely going to benefit me this season.
What's the mindset as you're approaching camp and practices with the veterans as they finally get out here?
I would just say to learn from them. As you know, as everybody knows, the Lions' offensive line is just a bunch of dogs, like just grit, nasty, tough. And I just I would model my play after that. Like, I strive to be like that, and now I'm here, so I just want to continue what they have built and help them grow as well.
In terms of going up against an NFL D-line, like the Lions, do you allow yourself any grace in those first few practices in terms of getting used to how NFL players are?
Not really. Like at LSU, our unit was the bomb squad, and no matter who we went against, we went up against first rounders, starters in the league right now in 2022, and the expectation is to dominate whoever you go against. So I'm ready for the challenge, and I just look forward to it.
It's very early, but after your first day, what's the level of competition like compared to what you're facing in the SEC?
About the same, but less error. Everyone, I feel like, is gap sound, technique sound, where you would see sometimes in the SEC they get out of their gaps. Both have great athletes, but I would say a lot out here is very technical sound, very where they're like right landmarks, very technique-based defensive line that we're going against. But they're definitely pretty good.
cross-training guys is something that's common around here
Yes, sir.
in different positions. Like, when you're just getting started, what are the biggest challenges of that, and what do you kind of try to keep your focus on when maybe at a spot that you're usually not?
I would just say technique. If you watch Senior Bowl, a lot of me, I was at tackle and guard, and I feel like the difference was like patience. A lot of at guard, everything happens way quicker. Even at center, everything happens real quicker. But at tackle, you have to have a lot of more patience and just more read and react than start the fight. But here now, I'm learning to switch up my sets instead of going vertical, angle, jump set, just flash set, just have different sets at tackle. So I feel like that's definitely going to help me play tackle here as well.
I know you did a lot of guard at LSU.
Yes, sir.
Practice and stuff. Did you rep at tackle at all? Or?
Yes, sir. I was the backup left and right tackle. So, like in film study, I would have to study. I was the starting right guard, but the backup left and right tackle. So I would have to study the player reels of like the D line, the defensive end rushers, outside linebackers, as well as the interior D line. So yeah.
You came from a program that has a ton of guys that come into the NFL. How much does that help you prepare for this?
I mean, my unit was a bunch of dogs, in my opinion, definitely. You got Will, Emery, and Deli. All four of us got drafted this year. And just playing next to those guys, I feel like helped me be accountable, helped me with my game, and just helped me dominate in my role on that offensive line.
You guys excited for one another?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, definitely. Like, I watched Will go to the Patriots, the 4th pick, and it was just a blessing because that's what we talked about. We always talk about our dreams, goals, and aspirations, and just for everything to come true. My offensive line coach, Brad Davis, he was just happy for all of us. That was always the mission, to not just get to LSU, but to get to the next level and exceed at the next level. So I feel like we're on the right track to do that.
You trained with Tate in the offseason.
Yes, sir.
What's it like doing this together?
Nah, Tate's my dog. Like, just learning to play together, being in the same room. Like, I feel like we both could push each other. Him playing center and guard, me playing guard and tackle. I feel like just we built a relationship with Duke Mayweather and O-line masterminds in Frisco, and then now we're just able to continue that bond and just grow together at the same time.
How'd it feel to hit the grass for the first time?
Oh man, he threw a couple nuggets in there, Johnny. Did you hear that?
Which ones are you? Tell me what hits you the most. Which ones are you talking about?
Well, he was talking about Tate right there at the end, talking about, and he brought up your point of the whole center and guard. And can you do me a favor with you? It feels like you're talking from your room. I don't know if your mic is on or
maybe I flipped it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I did. I'm sorry, buddy. When I muted it, it got all messed up. My apologies, dude, if that's been bad for a while.
Well, it was on the last 2 sequences, and I'm just like, that is not the way that you usually sound.
Sorry, buddy. Should be good now.
But yeah. So yeah, I think you got another dog right here. Like I said, the whole round thing where it's like where they drafted just went out the window. Now they're just players on the team. You know, you got Tate and him. This looks like, a dude. He's played all these positions, and then he mentions what you mentioned, which was Tate playing center and guard. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's funny how the versatility is really going to come into play. I think they all understand the best way to get into this mix is to find an avenue, and we never know what's going to happen with injuries. So I think cross training these guys as much as possible is your best bet. Because if I don't want to predict it, but if Ragnow went down or just had to miss time, you want to be able to insert a guy you trust. So I like that. It sounded like Miles Frazier was really willing to learn from this coaching staff, and again, well-spoken kids, guys that understand the mission and the goal.
All right. So now we're going to get up to one of probably both of our favorites. Getting here. Let me put it back up there. And this is the DN, the savior, the savior of the Lions defensive line.
Pharaoh.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, all glory to Jesus, man. He brought me here, and I'm just so grateful, so honored to be here. It's kind of like, doesn't feel real. It's like I don't want to leave the field, so, but I love it, so the coaching, my teammates, just the competitiveness, it's been great. And I'm just looking forward to tomorrow and just take it day by day.
It's been 2 weeks since you were drafted, I guess. What are these last 2 weeks been like for you in terms of preparation and just the mentality?
I mean, just took it day by day, it was a process. It was the longest 4 months of my life, they say that. But I took it day by day, and I just focused on each day what I need to get better at, and I just
followed the path and trusted God's plan because I know He has a plan for me, and ended up one of like the best spot best team for me, the best coaching. I mean, I'm really, really happy. So.
What's the biggest surprise? It could be anything since you got drafted. Like anything has been surprising. Any calls, texts,
man.
Anything that's been a surprise.
When I got to the facility, it's just like the food, the nutrition, the snack bar. You know, I'm just so grateful for everything. It's awesome. It's just like you can grab snack whenever you want. You can grab nutrition whenever you want. I mean, it's a dream, and it came true. And I'm gonna give it all I got for my team.
So what's the best snack in the snack bar?
Oh, I tried. There's like the lobster mac and cheese. They have it in there. What? And I was like, wow. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And they have like hydration, and they have like beetroot, and they have everything. And apple juice, orange juice, everything. So I'm just so honored to be here. I'm just happy, man. I'm just gonna give it all I got.
Have you been able to get out around and see the city that much?
No, not much. I'm just focused on football right now, and I heard there's a lot of good shawarma here, so I'm just gonna go around definitely, but I'm just focusing on football right now. But I just want to go out. It's so green. I love it. It's my first time in Michigan, so.
And what areas of your game are you focused on as you prepare for your first year in the NFL, training camp on the horizon? Just what specific facets of your game do you want to sharpen in the months ahead?
Absolutely. I mean, my pass rush can always get better. I can always get better at my technique, my hand placement, my get off, my games, my stunts, just collaborating, my communication, just everything at football, like I want to play special teams. I want to do everything, whatever my team needs me, I'll be there. So just getting better at like my technique, hand placement, get offs, watching the ball, communication, watching pre-snap movements, all that stuff I need to get better at, and I'm just taking it day by day.
With your history in CrossFit, how much do you think that gives you an advantage coming to a camp like this where you're around other rookies, but you've been training your body, maybe not preparing for football, but you've been training your body for as long as you have?
Absolutely, just the nature of the competitiveness, that I always want to get better, that I always want to push teammates, that always we work collectively, and it's not just individually. I work with team. I'm a team guy, I work with my D tackle, my nose, my other end. We work together to go get the quarterback or stop the run. So this is the same with CrossFit, just like my teammate has to make like 50 snatches. I take 25, he takes 25. Pull-ups, muscle-ups, he takes 10, I take 10. So we kind of coordinate how we do and get the best time possible in CrossFit. So it helped me a lot with especially with weight room, clean, snatches, bench press. It got me stronger to play at this level. So I'm really grateful.
Your first meetings with coaches, your first time out here, just your early assessment of why this team could fit your personality and why the lines are fit for you.
Man, you're talking about grit. It's the grittiest team that just persevering when the hard challenges come. And I'm that type of guy, just when obstacles comes, I'm gonna rise to it. I'm not gonna fall down, so I'm just looking forward to that. I look for hardships. I want to get better at stuff, because I don't want to take the easy way out. I want to earn everything. I don't want nothing to be given to me. I want to earn everything. Everything have to be earned. For how much is given, much is required. And they gave me so much. God gave me so much that I'm gonna do my best to just give back to my teammates.
Guys, time for two more, please.
What was that first interaction with Dan Campbell like?
Man, it kind of feels unreal, I'm gonna keep my glove forever now. I just walked out of practice and I just shaked his hand and I'm like, Coach, it's me. But it's awesome. No, he's an awesome guy. I'm just looking forward to learn from him off the field and on the field. He's an amazing coach. I couldn't ask for a better team to be at,
Any reaction back in Egypt? Any reaction back in Egypt?
Man, it's being the first Egyptian. You're talking about culture and teams, and people look out to me. I get texts all the time that people just want to be like me, inspired to be like me. I'm just so grateful and so honored that Jesus put me in this position. I'm gonna give it all I got.
So just what did these last two?
Wow, what an awesome story. What an awesome, it feels like that's a first round pick. But when you're talking to him, is there any reason? Because this is going to be the last one we're going to hit today, because we already hit our hour threshold in here. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ahmed Hassanin right here. First impressions.
Yeah, another one of the kids that you get. It's hard not to get behind that story, and he's very clearly grateful for everything he's been given, and it again hard not to root for someone like that. But I also just, and this is going to be such a downer statement, but we have to look at this for what it is. Teams decided not to draft him for 6 rounds, and there's a reason for that. It's going to take time. And I mean, this work ethic will bring him as far as he wants to go. But the question is, how high is that ceiling? So I hope it shoots to the moon, man. I hope this is the pick, just like I hope Tesla is the guy. Maybe even more so, because I think the Lions would benefit more from this. But I just think you're right. It's hard not to get behind his story, and he certainly loves the food that the Lions are putting out there, baby. So you know he's going to be happy with that at the very least.
You know, he's a high level competitor. So, and this isn't just that the CrossFit thing. I mean, he looks like he's like, oh, I just got done with practice, and oh, I can't wait to practice again. Like he looks like he just wants to go bench again, and even do more work. Like he like this. These practices aren't too much for him. I think that he's doing it, and he's already to the point where he's pushing other guys to go into it deeper. So no, I don't think that he's going to have like 15 sacks this year or something like that.
I got you.
But when you're talking about that rotation of Josh Pascal and Marcus Davenport and Muhammad, and now you're going to throw Hassanin in here, he's going to get some opportunities because all of our players play when it comes in, and I think he's got a decent shot to make the team.
I agree with you. And you're right. The preseason is going to be big for him. I think to show it on the field in play will be huge. And you're right. They didn't bring a bunch of defensive edges in. So the opportunity will be there if he can make it work.
Okay. I the Pharaoh in here. I wanted to thank everybody that were. Good morning to Chad. Good morning to Rick C. and Adam. And Tao Lee and Mark Orlando and Detroit Fan Man in the house. Jennifer's still in the house right here. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get so locked into these conversations with everybody that I forget to tell everybody about the Detroit Lions swag that you can get right there by scanning that code right there. Get your Lions hoodie. If you like the Bears, you can go in there and find the Bears stuff. They even have NHL stuff. They have WWE stuff, which Backlash is tonight. Yeah, if you're into the wrestling thing. And I am seriously considering doing some wrestling content to go onto my villain page, the YouTube page. And I don't know, Johnny Guest seemed to be a little bit interested in that. Maybe we can collaborate on a couple of wrestling type of videos. And I don't care, if you don't like it. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I'm the villain. But I like wrestling too.
I like it. Expand. I like it.
That's right. And I already have some overtones like, if you love the Detroit Lions, type, hell yeah. Put that in the comments. And if you're not a Detroit Lions fan, then you type whatever you want to, hell no in the comments or whatever. Oh, gosh. All right. I got to get, I think there's the Facebook page. And now that's free. If you scan that, you can go to the villain page, hit that up for free. Absolutely free. And then Johnny Gaz, I hope I did enough time right there. Absolutely free. The subscribe costs you nothing, and it means the world to us.
That's so true. So true. Great way to put it. And we appreciate everybody for getting involved in the chat, doing these Saturdays. I mean, this is, these are kind of the dog days of the off season, right? But finally we're starting to see the rookie mini camp, and some things are going to get exciting here very soon. So we appreciate everybody hanging in there, and thank you always, Villain, for having me on. I don't ever want to lose sight of that. I appreciate you having me on your show.
Oh, it's awesome. I really look forward to it, especially with I see how hard you work during the week, getting stuff out, and I'm working equally as hard out there, and then we get to chop it up on the weekend when it comes in here. So quick shout out to all the guys. First of all, I am the villain. That is at 313 on X. I need some people to come over there and like my stuff. I have like 60 people on there. I just started that one, but I do appreciate all 60 of them. So far, so good. Joe Chap over at Detroit Lions News Podcast. We appreciate you for allowing us onto your 80,000 person network. That's awesome. So many people get to watch this. And then obviously Johnny Gaz on YouTube, but you're everywhere. So yeah, you can find him on X and TikTok and Instagram and all of it. It's wonderful.
OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. Jokes.
No,
we're going to buy the kneecap off.
Oh man. And Villain Squad is on Facebook and YouTube, and you can go there. And Christopher Walken was here to say the Villain Report. It's on Saturday. You should watch it. It's good for you. It could be good for your life. It could be good for you. Yeah, and Villains, we want to say thank you for 64,000. And this Leon Faust, I'm gonna be here all the way to 70,000. Thank you for acknowledging the villain. Yeah,
man, how did you get Leon to come on the show? That's incredible. You got that audio,
man. Oh, so one more shout out to everybody in the. Make sure that we got everybody in here. Broski.
Yeah.
Schedule release. Yeah. That's a good date right there. You know, the lull of the off season. Here we are, Johnny, in the lull.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we're gonna hit on that big time, right? I mean, once that schedule hits this week, we'll circle back. What is the date? When is that? What day is that? Is that Wednesday?
That's Wednesday. Yep.
Okay. All right. So we'll figure out a way to get around that. Maybe next week we'll chat it up.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely review it on Saturday, as well as I think that if A-Dub is willing to come on, then we're going to do Green Bay next week. So you get your Green Bay questions ready, and we'll review this schedule release. And I'm sure that you're going to throw your ideas out there beforehand on your own channels, and me as well. But, you know, we'll have the 3 days removed thoughts next week of the schedules, and maybe get the way too early predictions for the season.
Undefeated.
That's right. But thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This has been the Lion Villain Report. I am Russell Wayne, aka the villain, and that's Johnny Gaz. And God bless you guys. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again, in Jesus' name. Amen. Faith, family, and football, everybody. It's in that order. We use football. We don't let